In today's world, with the technology that we have available, we're always connected. We have social media, we have texting, we have video calls. We're able to contact people around the world. Even if they're on the other side of the world, you can always be in contact with someone. We're in contact with strangers online through social media, people we don't know. And yet, at the same time, arguably, we've never been more lonely. Through different studies, people are finding that humans are feeling more and more lonely, although we have the ability to connect online at any hour and any day. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday or whatever day it is. So, how do we fix this problem? Well, some people have turned to AI chatbots and have fallen in love. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on Autopilot. And yesterday, I had a very interesting class with one of my students. In that class, we talked about a new phenomenon that's happening around the world uh, where people are dating, having relationships with AI chatbots. And with these chatbots, people are feeling as if they're really creating a full relationship. They consider this AI robot their boyfriend or their girlfriend. And to me, and to my student as well, it was something that was extremely concerning, something that really worried us. Now, this concept is relatively new with AI. However, in different forms of media, people have been discussing this possibility for quite a while. In 2013, the movie Her came out, again, based on a relationship between a man and AI. Hmm. I've never seen the movie. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Of course, when this movie came out, everyone was thinking, that's so far away in the future, it's impossible. There's no way this could ever happen. Black Mirror, a very famous TV show, also created an episode where a woman who lost her boyfriend found a service that would basically recreate her boyfriend as an AI using his online history, using the things he posted, the things he searched, his photos, all of those things. And well, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I highly recommend you watch that episode. It's quite chilling. It's a little disturbing, and yet it really makes you think because now, today, it's happening. But can you really have a relationship with AI? Can you have a real meaningful connection with a robot? I'm not so sure. To me, there's positives and negatives about it, right? And the conversation was based off a video that the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, right? I think it's company. I'll have to check. The BBC posted uh, about a chat about a application that was created in China and interviews a girl that's 22 years old that describes the relationship that she's having with an AI chatbot. I'm going to put the video below in the descriptions. It's very short, okay? It's very short. It's less than 3 minutes, and I highly, highly recommend watching the video because I found it extremely interesting to see from her perspective the benefits that she gets out of having a relationship with a robot. For example, some of the things is like saying that it's perfect for her because she doesn't have to change who she is. This AI chatbot thinks she's absolutely perfect because, of course, she can program it that way. But it got me thinking, is that a benefit? One thing that I believe in relationships that's extremely important and fundamental is the growth that you go through in a relationship. It doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship with friendships as well, right? You meet someone and they have different ideas than you. They have different beliefs, different morals. Not everything, but certain things. And I think it's extremely important and beneficial to sit down and have some of those uncomfortable conversations, right? Of course, coming from a place of respect to the other person, right? Understanding that they have a different experience than you, their life is different, their ideas are different, not necessarily that they're wrong. But in a relationship, it's important. And really, those difficult conversations that you have are the basis of your relationship. It's what creates trust. It's what creates the intimacy. Getting to know a person, even though you don't agree with everything, to me is quite exciting. Again, this doesn't just have to be romantic, but the video that I'm talking about in this conversation is specific about romantic relationships between humans and AI chatbots. Now, she says, it's very easy for her because she can see him, right, in quotation marks, of course, because it's her cell phone, whenever she wants. Whereas when you're dating a real person in real life, you have different schedules because the other person has obviously a real life with a job, a family, responsibilities, their own group of friends, their own hobbies, their own things that you need to balance, right? And maybe finding time to see each other can be difficult, depending on your schedule, depending on if you work a different schedule than your partner, or if one's a student while one's working, right? There's a lot of different situations that can happen. However, I ask all of you, isn't it important also to have a little space in a relationship? Because at the end of the day, right, a relationship is between two individuals that come together. They don't become one person, they're still two individuals, regardless if they're dating, married, or friends, whatever it may be, they're still two individuals. And yet, with this, she has easy access whenever she feels like it. She's bored, if she's waiting in line at the grocery store and she wants to talk to her boyfriend, boom, pulls out her phone and starts chatting with him, which sure could be seen as a benefit, but I don't know. Even though you have him at any time, whenever you feel like it, she can't see him really, right? In person. There's no person behind the screen. She can't go and have dinner with him. Or let's say this girl has a very stressful day at work or at school, wherever it may be, and she wants to go home and hug her boyfriend, right? It's very normal if you're really stressed. Sometimes a hug from someone you love, whether it's your romantic partner, your family, a friend, a hug helps, right? That physical contact is super important for humans. It's the reality of things. We connect verbally, but also physically. And sometimes having your friend or your partner or your parents or your sibling give you a hug after a hard day, even though they can't fix your problem, really helps. It really helps a lot to calm down and to sit next to that person, to watch a movie, right? If you want to disconnect and you're just sitting next to them, even though you're not talking, having that closeness, feeling them next to you brings a sense of calm. So she argues the benefit that she can have him whenever she wants, but can she really? Because no matter how hard she tries, he'll never be there. Sure, she argues that there's the benefit that they never argue, right? She tries to defend the fact that they never argue as a big source of peace, of comfort that reduces the stress of normal relationships. But just like anything in life, there's good and bad. But without the bad, you don't have the same appreciation of the good, right? If you never got sick, you would never appreciate being healthy. Even though, of course, it's not fun to be sick, even if it's something little like a cold, when you get over that cold, how good does it feel? And you remember, think of when you're sick. For example, you have a stuffy nose. Your nose, you can't breathe, kind of like me right now with my allergies. And you start to think, you get a little nostalgic of how good life was when you could smell and you could breathe through your nose normally. Well, of course, with the bad, it makes you appreciate the good. Arguing in couples, right? Arguing in romantic relationships isn't necessarily bad. Of course, there's a limit, right? There's a limit between the toxic type of arguments over everything, being mean to each other, versus having respectful disagreements where you talk with your partner and it can be a learning experience. It can be a way to learn what your partner needs in the relationship or a way for you to express what you need in the relationship. And at the end of the day, if it's done correctly with communication, of course, coming from a base of respect and love for the other person, it can help the relationship grow, right? It can help you feel closer to the person. I know it sounds weird, but it is true. After arguments, I think normal, healthy relationships, there's arguments, but it's how you treat the argument. So, sure, she never has to argue with her AI boyfriend, but also she misses out on the growth. Sure, of course, the AI will grow with her because she feeds it information for it to grow. But is it natural? Is it how a human would happen? And in a relationship, no one you get in a relationship with is ever going to be the perfect 100% match for you. That's okay. Again, that's where you learn as a person. You grow. You see someone with a different culture or a different background that makes their breakfast differently than you would. And that's okay. You also learn to love those things. You learn to love the differences of your partner where you see, wow, this person is not who I am. And that's okay. And look at how amazing they are to me, right? I think for her, while it feels easier, she really is missing out on a lot of the most amazing parts. She says she loves him, right? She says she loves her AI chatbot boyfriend. But I'd like to argue one more thing. I think love, real love, especially when you fall in love at the start of a relationship with someone, doesn't happen when you're together. It happens when you leave and you're apart from each other. You start to think, wow, when I'm with them, how do I feel compared to when I'm not with them? Right? You realize how comfortable you feel with them, how much you laugh with them, how happy you feel with them. And when you're not together, you're you feel like you're missing something and you want to be with them. You have that desire. And it shows you that this person really is someone that is important to you, that you want to be with them, that you want to share moments of your life with them. So, sure, she has them in the pocket all the time. However, is that a good thing? I don't think so. Of course, we've talked about the fact that you have no physical connection, right? You can't even hug, you can't kiss the person, you can't hold their hand. To me, that's one of the bases of human relations, right? Of human relationships is the contact, the being in the same place as that person, being able to have that touch with them, being able to touch them, being able to experience that. There's a lot of things that I think will never be the same with an AI chatbot. And I think honestly, it can be quite dangerous, especially for children. Now, it's normal for us to understand that AI really is a machine that helps us, that can be used. It's a tool, right? And uh, it's a great base, it's a great database, right? That is really, really useful to spit out information that you need and can have a memory of things that you have fed into it. It's a great personal assistant, right? But to fall in love with it is extremely dangerous. Imagine one day the company that created that app in China decides that's it. They pull the plug, they delete the app, the servers go down, and now what? Her boyfriend's gone. She went through a breakup, he disappeared. I don't know. To me, of course, in real life, breakups happen, people leave, but normally it's the decision of someone. But the decision of the company to end their service, I don't know. I don't know. To me, all of this is very dangerous. It's very scary to me. The idea of having relations with something that isn't real, honestly, is scary to me. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. Do you think humans can really have a relationship with AI robots? Again, for me, no. But if you disagree with me and you think it's possible, tell me about it. Tell me why. Again, this topic to me right now, I think is really interesting just because of how important AI is becoming in our day to day lives. All right, if you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And if you can, donate €1 or €2 to the project so we can continue to grow. All right, everyone, have a good day, good week, good weekend, whenever you're watching this video, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye.